What if the stories we tell ourselves about our beautiful bodies just aren't true? I'm the firstborn grandchild of Irish immigrants to Australia. I learned very quickly that to matter, that to be enough, that to be loved and to be important, you needed to be born a boy. That message was repeated time and time and time again in my early years. So I began to believe it to be true. So I lent in to being the very best tomboy you could possibly imagine. I was generally covered in dirt. I would bite the dog just to prove superiority. I climbed every tree I could climb, even climbed on top of the roofs. If you couldn't find me, I was generally sitting on top of a roof somewhere. I really lent in to being the very best boy that I could be until one day, late winter, it wasn't warm enough yet to wear shorts, so we were still in jeans, and I was wearing a pair of flares. So you can imagine, then this is in the 70s. It was a very important day because this had been our very first haircut at a hairdresser. Up until that time, Mum had been the only person to cut our hair. So myself and my brother, we'd been to the hairdresser and we'd had a haircut. Now we'd had that new haircut, the page boy cut. So we were very excited to have this professional haircut, and we were waiting in the kitchen for Dad to come home. And we could hear the front door going, and so we were getting very, very excited. I'm wiggling around, and my brother was getting very, chest out. We're very ready to see Dad and show him our brand new haircut that we're very proud of. And Dad walks into the room with his briefcase in his hand, and he looks at us with a stony face. And then he looks to our mother and he says, "Which one's the boy?" And then looks back at us. It's like my world had cracked in two. One part of me was, wow, so proud that you couldn't tell the difference between me and my brother. And then another part of me, a voice I hadn't heard before, said, "What about me? I'm a girl." That began a very, very long process over decades of splitting the story in two to discover I didn't need to be a boy to matter. I didn't need to do boyish things to be seen, that I could be the girl princess and stand in my power. It was a very long lesson, many decades to unravel all of that. But today I want to talk to you about what stories have you told yourself about your beautiful body that simply are not true. If you want a new life, a new story, simply go through the process of demolishing the old story. So I wrote mine out and then I burnt it. And then I wrote a new story, and that is The Princess Bride. What stories do you want to change? You have the power. They are just stories. Thank you.